Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm very excited to have you here. We're going to jump right into your reading today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am really happy to have you. I feel like I'm running a dog summer camp with my grand dog here, playing with my dog. And this morning, they have just had a lot of energy. We've had a good, fun time playing tug of war. Anyway, guys, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest. If you hear the dogs playing in the background, rest assured they are playing in the background. And yeah, they're having the best time. Wow, okay. So before I started your reading, Pisces, I sat with your energy. I just needed to ground and center after my wild morning with the pups. And I really specifically asked like for something that may come this week. And I felt really guided to these cards. So you have this energy of someone is telling you something possibly, or you're finding out some information, or you're seeing something. And I feel, of course, this is a general reading, so take what resonates. But I feel almost the person doing the confessing might not totally... You guys, I swear, they're just playing. I want to clarify this because I don't know... I feel like it's, you know, be careful making any kind of assumptions or making any kind of decisions off of something that you may not know the whole truth about. Oh, yeah. So you have, okay. See, all right, why I needed to clarify this card is I wanted to know what the intentions were of the person that was telling you this, or of, okay, so here's the thing. If you see something that you think means something else, like for example, if someone's posting something on social media and they're with someone of the opposite sex, or they're with someone, or, you know, it looks like it could be one way. This is like, get all the information before you jump to a conclusion. Even with the Queen of Cups in reverse and the Seven of Swords in reverse, this is an energy of, you know, every once in a while we have samskaras. We have patterns of behavior or ways of thinking or ways of assessing situations or way of reacting to situations that are sort of, there's something that we probably were learned or were taught based on experiences that we had in the past. And I actually feel like this is an opportunity for you to come out on top. When the King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, you have someone here who's committed to offering you something. And I feel like they may be the person in question, or it's their integrity, or it's, you know, it's something that you see in regards to this person, or something it looks like that you hear in regards to this person, that it's like the reaction or the way of feeling, it may be based on an old routinized thing. And the reason that this is happening, or the reason this is coming up, is for it to be let go of. Now, all of that being said, please keep in mind this is a general reading. But when I see the Queen of Cups in reverse and I see the Five of Swords in reverse, this is something, sometimes reversals are energy that is you with you. It's something that's happening internally versus externally. Now, I have a few feelings about this, and because it's a general reading, it is going to be more than one scenario, right? But sometimes we have self-defeating thoughts, or we have thoughts that sort of betray us or lead us in the wrong direction or take us down the wrong path. And I am just getting like, this may be triggered by something that someone says. It's almost like your pride may tell you, okay, that's it. We need to move on, or we need to close this door, or we need to stop communicating, or it feels, I don't want to say drastic, because I don't think it is. If what you were seeing or hearing was true or real, that may be the appropriate response. But there are so many things that come into play here. Like, I'm picking up a game of telephone. I'm picking up, where the message starts with the creator of the message and is passed on to the next person, it's passed on. And by the time it gets to the end, it doesn't even resemble what the first person said. There can also be, I feel, with that Five of Swords energy, people who are envious, people who are jealous, people are seeing you sort of get something good or possibly even some recognition. And, people in that type of energy, when they're looking for that in other people, they think, oh, Pisces has it all, or Pisces has gotten this unfairly, or Pisces always gets the reward and the recognition. And being a Pisces, that's just not true, right? And that you have definitely had your fair share of down cycles. But people justify crappy behavior all kinds of ways in their head. And I feel like that is this, I feel like what I'm just getting is have measured responses. And honestly, what is really coming through very strongly is don't give any kind of reaction to anyone. Just be like, oh, really? Because they're going to take that reaction. If this is someone who's interested in busting you up, they're going to take that reaction and conflate it and use it to their own means, right? So there's just this energy of not really reacting, not really giving anyone anything, letting the thing happen, even if it's a good friend that's telling you, or even if you think it's a good friend that's telling you. This is just, hold on. And even when you start to emotionally react, think about it. Just take some deep breaths. Obviously there are things that can be said and done that are hurtful. This reading, by the way, is not in any way to elicit fear or to in any way say, oh my gosh, something bad is going to happen. No. I don't think anything bad is happening. I think, Pisces, you're doing really well this week. 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. This is about either us with us fully releasing something, some kind of pattern or some kind of way of thinking that's defeating us, because we can't take it where we're going. Where we're going is a really beautiful, magical, wonderful place, and we want to release the things that don't support this. Period. End of story. So it can be an opportunity, if this is something that you yourself experience or you yourself see, and even if, let's say, someone is doing something that is hurtful to you, the best response is still the same response. It's still not to react. It's still not to show your emotion. It's still not to give anyone any kind of satisfaction. When you can walk away from a situation feeling like you didn't betray yourself, you will be fine much, much faster. When you get in there and you try to explain why you're hurt to someone who doesn't care, or why that could have been this way or that way, or to someone who doesn't care, and you try harder and harder and harder to be understood and you're not understood, and try harder and harder to be heard, and this person is not caring, then you are going to suffer something that you don't need to suffer. So I'm just getting this energy of keeping your focus forward, keeping your focus on where you want to go, and not letting things really affect you, or not letting other people trigger you in any way. Like whether I can just think of an example that a friend of mine told me, that she had been planning an event with a person for the Kentucky Derby. And this person, they were very excited. You know, they had come up with drinks and a menu and all this stuff. And it was just a little gathering of friends to watch the race. And kind of at the last minute, this person said, "Oh, I didn't realize we were really making serious plans. I actually have other plans." And my friend was like, oh, she was kind of jolted by it. You know what I mean? She was kind of like, oh, okay. Because when it came the time to take action, to invite people, to call people up, to say, hey, let's do this, she was like, oh, okay. And my friend is from that area, so you know, it's you know, I'm also from that area, so you know, it's sort of a home away from home. It's sort of a big deal. Anyway, then this person posts on social media pictures of her own get together with a lot of the things they had talked about and discussed. And, you know, my friend was just, and she hadn't even been invited. And, you know, my friend was just like, man, that was really, really hurtful. And obviously the person that did this, that had the party, really didn't care about my friend's feelings, you know, really didn't care that that was really going to be upsetting, or that, you know, that just didn't care, period. And so my friend going to her and explaining, you know, I just, like, to me, that is just like, oh, okay, thank you very much for showing me that you're not really my friend. You know what I mean? I'm always grateful for those situations, because I'm like, wonderful. Now I am not going to waste time or an event or a day that's special to me, you know, thinking that I'm going to do something with you. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. You know, but for my friend, you know, she had to get there. She had to go through it. She had to get to that place, to that point. And you know, there's this energy of, sometimes people want that. Sometimes people, that's the condition or the currency of their ego, right? Of, well, I want you to fight for this, or I want you to be upset, or I want you to have an emotional reaction so I can judge you some more, or so I can have something else to say about you. You know, it's so unfortunate and it's so ridiculous. And so at the end of the day, it's a situation of, how are you best going to stay on your own path and not be distracted by people around you who are lower vibration than you? And how are you best going to stay on your path and stay focused on your own success, your own victory, on coming out on top, on having what you want, on getting the recognition you deserve, without defeating yourself with your own thoughts? So how are we releasing patterns of thinking that in the past have harmed us? And I don't really know how to say the other thing, because is it releasing the people that are lower vibrational that have harmed us in the past? Is it just plain flat out reacting or showing how something is making us feel? You know, I think in days gone by, and I may just be fooling myself thinking things like this, we thought if we expressed how something made us feel and someone could understand that, then we could work it out and we could save a friendship. And I think that is possible in some circumstances, but I think when someone goes to kind of such an end to, like, they really know how you feel or what you think about something, and they do it anyway. There's a twofold question there. You know, is the relationship worth it? Is the person even really trying to understand you or trying to understand where you're coming from? Do you see any action or any behavioral change that is that is leading you to believe that they are considering you at all? Because I feel like in this scenario, it may appear at first like you need to move on from one person or one situation or one thing, when in reality, it may be the thing that comes in as friendly or comes in as, I don't know, just take it as it resonates. I feel there's a situation that's a little complicated or a little confusing, where someone's telling you something or you're seeing something, and someone may even be there to say something about it, or to say, you know, I heard this or whatever. And this is just about staying in your own energy with the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, and staying focused on your own victory and your own success, and sort of just looking at the situation and understanding that in no way can anything you say or do in the moment be productive or helpful to you in where you're going. And that when you're going the places that you're going and you're giving off the energy that you're giving off, there will be people who feel you don't deserve it, or who feel however they feel, who are insecure and want to project their insecurity onto you. You know what I mean? And want to rob you of this moment, or want to, even if it's not just rob you of the moment, but distract you and get you off track. You know, because my friends started kind of reevaluating, like, were the people that went to the party also not her friends? And, you know, like, it really sent her in this direction of, wait, was I just thinking this, or was I just thinking that? Listen, half the people at that party might have just gone to that party because there was a party and it seemed like fun, and they don't feel particularly close to the hostess. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many things. Like, they may not actually be sort of knowing participants of what went down. They may have had no idea that they were planning a party together and then it went down this way. You know what I mean? There could have been some people there who did, you know, and who gossiped about it and whatever. But the thing is, there's just something about this here where it's like, you know, sometimes people do things to sort of get you off track, or to take your focus from one thing to another thing, or, you know, to put your focus on them, thereby slowing down your success, slowing down your victory, because you take your eye off of it for a moment, or you have to process and deal with something else for a moment, you know. And sometimes it's just best to recognize what that is, and to say, you know what, I'm not going to be distracted by it. There's nothing good. There's nothing that can serve me in the direction I'm going, and I have a free will choice to just not care, to just not take that on. And if you can get over the hurt, and you can get over it by, you know, really just knowing that that person's not your friend, and it's a gift for you to know that in the moment, you know what I mean? Then and to not waste further time, or to invest more into the connection, or however you want to look at it. Or even just to say, you know what, that person's really wounded, and, you know, I'll keep them in my prayers, but I don't need to give them access to me. Whatever it is, however it is that you feel you are living in your truth and living in your authenticity, and you're not allowing lower vibrational energies to turn your focus lower vibrationally. Because you're definitely, I feel here you have someone showing up that's very serious, or that really understands the value of you and what you're bringing to the table and what you're investing, and may even want to help you. For some of you, if this is in work, it's like someone who's recognizing you for your stability, your strength, your maturity, your contribution, your reliability, things like that. And they are trying to help you possibly even get some kind of promotion with the Six of Wands. And if you, allow yourself to get shaken and distracted by somebody else who's literally trying to do that, you kind of take yourself out of this energy of success and victory. I feel, Pisces, that you are definitely moving into kind of a new cycle. You're moving into some kind of new spaces here. And I feel like there are definitely people who are envious watching this, or who, because this has come up a few times here lately, or it's like they are becoming less and less relevant to your story, possibly even, and they may not be okay being less relevant to your story, and they may want to get your attention in somewhat negative ways. But I don't see this as really affecting you unless you let it, unless you take it on personally, and, let it. And I also feel like the truth will be revealed. Like if you just give it time and you just don't react, I feel like more and more of the truth will come out, and it will be there's a much more productive time to deal with it. So I don't know what this is. It could be in a very, very small way for some people. It could be someone taking credit for your work at work, and it's like, just don't worry about it, because there is someone here who is seeing things, or who is ready to recognize your value publicly, or give you some kind of public recognition. I feel some of you may be getting a promotion, or maybe getting some kind of new job. Or it is that you didn't take a strong reaction. I feel like there's this level of maturity of, just, and wisdom with that Nine of Pentacles, of just, the Nine of Pentacles, we don't arrive there overnight. It's a kind of slow process. It's a building on things. It's an investing in things. It's, the Nine of Pentacles typically, especially when it comes to a career, and I don't know why I'm getting career so strongly here, but I am. Well, the Pentacles, there's a lot of Pentacles. This is like, yes, it's not, you don't come to the Nine of Pentacles in your first job. Well, sometimes you do. I don't want to say that, but it's usually like when you've been there a long time. But this is like one experience which leads to another experience, which leads to another experience, which leads to another experience, which somehow then gets you to this place where, this is almost like expert level testimony or something. I don't know what that's about, but it is like, we all have a unique path, and we all have a unique path for a reason, and we're all building on the basis of each step that we have taken, each experience that we have had. And so at some point, your qualifications, or your like kind of what you have done that's different than someone else, may even make you be somewhat of a sort of a standout character, or I don't know why I keep getting like witness and testimony, but there's just this energy of, I feel like you're just being recognized for either all of the experiences that have brought you to this point, which can be like a resume, or you're being recognized for staying steady and strong, and like the understanding of where that comes from may exist in your resume. Like there's something in this moment in time where what we're looking for are people that add calm, that add maturity, that add a wise voice, that don't speak to be heard, but speak because they have something important to say. And it's like there is someone with this King of Pentacles. This can be a romantic partner, but it can also be someone of authority, like a boss. It can be, you know, someone who is sort of at the top of the chain here, that is saying, okay, you know what, I see the value of this person. I want to give recognition to this person. If there's a promotion or an accolade or an award or something like that, I want it to go to this person. It's like you're speaking the same language, or this person is recognizing that you have what is important here. And you know, in love, it is very important to have someone who is reliable, someone who is steady and stable, someone who is, you know, isn't super all over the place emotionally and reactionary. And, you know, there is a certain value in someone who takes their time and lets the truth come out and doesn't just react on what's been said or what's been heard, or, you know, something like that. And even possibly this recognition may be something that helps you finally release a pattern. Possibly this can be like a little bit of an imposter syndrome, or a little bit of a, in your mind, you're always wondering if you really are as qualified as you say you are, or as much as your resume says you are, or as much as people sort of give you the credit for being. This is where there's like no doubt, because someone else is recognizing it in you, which somehow makes it easier for you yourself to believe. So anything that makes you feel like your boat starts to rock here this week, Pisces, breathe, just get some distance from it. Remember that the eyes do not see. The eyes are a tool that allows us to see. And the ears do not hear. The ears are a tool that lets us hear. You know, we have to make sense of it. And so give yourself that distance. Give yourself that space. Remember that you are in here experiencing what is out there, and it is your choice, you know, to how you react or respond, or to not react or respond immediately. It may be something that you need to say something about, but I think you'll have that opportunity. I really feel there's something that will gradually become clearer, and the truth, you're actually giving space for the actual truth to come out. Like if my friend had reacted to her friend having this party, like if she had posted a comment, or you know, called the other person and been like, I can't believe you did that, blah 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 blah, you know, I feel really betrayed, da 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 da, the entire narrative would have shifted to my friend's reaction. Instead of her not reacting, giving space and time, you know, she may have a conversation where she can just say, I was surprised to see that post because I had been planning something with her. You know what I mean? I mean, you just never know what opportunities are going to arise for the truth to come out in a way that is solid and stable. So just remember that. Yeah, I don't know what this is, you guys. See, someone has not been good here. Well, oh man. I don't want to say, like, no judgment, right? And I don't really like the words good and bad. They're, you know, very labely. And I'm just not into it. But what I see is there's someone who I feel like they have sort of moved ahead or had their success or their victory or their recognition or their climb to the top of the mountain has come by creating conflict situations for other people. There's some kind of breaking point that's happening right now. I mean, you can see it. I mean, you can see it in the world, and it comes through when I meditate. It comes through, but I'm seeing it here also for you, Pisces, on a probably a much smaller scale, right? But there is something here where, you know, there are those people who kind of thrive in environments of conflict and drama, and sort of creating situations that create competition, that create chaos, that, you know, because they're setting things up. What they're doing is they're creating a situation of smoke and mirrors to keep people's focus over there, to where they can sit as the judge and the jury and look like the mature one when they're the ones really causing it all. The news, or the, you know, there's something tightening around this situation right now. Pisces, I feel as though you're rising up out of situations like this where you may have been caught in some of these scenarios. I feel like you are coming out of this, for sure. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, it's like, you know, it is sort of this energy. I got this a few months ago, actually. It's coming back up right now, where, you know, you may have felt like you were a player in someone else's story, like you weren't the main character. And I know main character energy and stuff has some kind of reputation now. I don't know. I don't, you know, I don't like watch TV. I don't stay up on things like that. But there is this energy of, sort of feeling like you're getting bumped around, or you're like, no matter what you're really doing, you don't seem to come out the star, or you don't seem to come out where you're hoping to come out. And instead you're just sort of getting battered around by circumstances or these conflicts or this drama that other people are creating to serve their own needs or their own purposes. This energy has reached its breaking point. This energy is not sustainable. It's never sustainable. I mean, there are countless people where you can look at, I don't want to get into politics, but our former president is, you know, in the midst of a very dramatic criminal trial, and he's already been found guilty in a civil court, you know, of some pretty heinous things, you know, and he is someone that I think it's pretty fair to say has created a lot of conflict and drama, definitely a lot of tension. And I mean, it's happening all over the world globally with leaders. And beyond that, there, you know, Sean Combs, that situation, there's a lot of situations where it's like people have gotten away with, you know, no matter how you want to look at it, no matter what you want to say, the evidence comes out. It comes out in court, it comes out in videos, it comes out. And, you know, I think people are sort of reaching a breaking point of kind of being willing to participate in this, or, you know, to sort of be like, well, at least it's not aimed at me, so I'll be an enabler and stand beside this person. You know what I mean? People are sort of distancing themselves from these kinds of situations, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not good to be someone who's been associated with this when it does come out. And it is coming out, and it will come out, because it's not a sustainable situation. You have to be the pillar of your own consciousness. You have to live to your own integrity. And, you know, everyone's human, everyone makes mistakes, everyone has their moments. But, you know, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it because I'm not trying to stir up any type of controversy or anything like that, or get this off track. But it is just an energy here of there is kind of a breaking point coming just in the world in general, finally, where this type of energy or this type of behavior, people are able to see it, people are able to spot it, people are not so willing to tolerate it. It used to be when one person was singled out from a group, you know, we would just say, oh, that person is not good. But now when someone is singled out from a group, we start to say, is it that person, or is it this group, or is it the leader of this group? Or do you know what I'm saying? Is this person the fall guy or the scapegoat for something bigger? Anyway, there is some sense of you may be letting go of some soulmates here, or some people who have played some kind of role in your life that you have learned a lot of lessons from. And even when we have come to the point where we are like, we really have to let this go, this is not good for us, this is not in alignment with who we are now and where we're going now. It may have been in alignment with some past version of ourselves, or we may have been come to a point where our paths crossed and our alignment was joined, but that person went that way and I went this way, and now it's like there's no coming together. I just don't feel good when I'm around that person anymore. There is a sense of loss. There is a sense of grief. There is a sense of you know, like, how sad, like, it didn't really have to be that way. You know, if it could have been like this, or if it could have been like that, or, you know, if this person would have just seen in them what I saw in them, or, you know, there's all these countless things that we tell ourselves. But there is a moment of grief, even if we are the ones that know that we have to walk away. It's still a loss. It's still a sadness. It's still my soul recognized your soul, and now we're parting ways in this life. And it's sad. And, you know, so you may have moments of where you feel loss, or you feel grief, or you feel, you know, sadness that it couldn't have gone some other way. But I feel like the space you're headed, Pisces, is pretty major. You know, 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, realizations, only you, ecstasy. You know, you are having awakenings, you are having understandings, you are coming to your own conclusions about a lot of things here, and about the way things work, about the way they're connected, about the way they affect you, because I feel like you're getting ready for your main character moment here. I feel like there is a sense of recognition with someone who really brings you a lot of happiness. I feel like you are coming into a much better time, a much more exciting time, a time that is where you don't feel like you're being battered around by life, but where it's like you're writing the script. And it feels great. It feels so good. It feels so much easier. And it just feels sort of drama and conflict free, at least for a while. So I think this is, you know, I see this energy of, if I react, I engage in it. I don't want to engage in it. It's like just continuously walking, not even looking back, and just closing the door. So take it as it resonates, guys. We're going to jump into the tarot here and see what's up. For Pisces. Wow. Pisces, you're off on a new adventure here. Page of Cups, Ace of Swords. You know, your authenticity is really what matters here. I think across the board. And I think, you know, you're getting an opportunity here at some type of new adventure. And it does come from a lot of realizations. With the Ace of Swords is such a complex energy. It actually represents so many things. There is clarity, there is success and victory, there's just a lot here. There's conversation. It's also a sword, which means we can cut things out of our life, free ourselves from things that, have bound us or have caused us to struggle. It can talk about, clearing our way of thinking and, being open to new ideas and new ways of doing things and new ways of thinking about things, telling ourselves different things, stepping into an era of mantras of, I am lovable, I am amazing, I am capable of this, I am rising to meet this occasion of my life, I am doing everything that I can, kind of energy here. And it's so in alignment with you with this Page of Cups. And it's like, the page is someone who is stepping out into an adventure. And this is an adventure that's carefully aligned with your truth, your authenticity, your really and truly the inner sanctum of your heart, that part of you that maybe you've never even spoken aloud to anyone ever. For some of you, you may actually have someone, this entire confession energy may have been a past situation, and you may have someone who is finally seeing the light, who is coming to you to apologize for some part that they played in it. They may be ready to raise up. They may be ready for to behave on a higher frequency, or, a lot of times when we're in situations like that and we are an enabler, we don't necessarily see it. It's definitely happened to me, I can say for sure, until the sword turns on you. And then you're like, oh, wow, that's what that was. Okay, I get it now. But, it's part of life. We're all learning, we're all growing. We don't come in knowing everything there is to know. So with this Page of Cups and this Ace of Swords, there's just sort of this energy of kind of knowing what is really in your heart of hearts and what really resonates with you and what you want to act on and what is in alignment with your heart, and just choosing that. You're facing forward here. You can even see with this Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, you're keeping your eye on where you're going, on the adventure that's ahead of you, on the things that are in alignment with you. But like I said, this can be someone coming back to apologize, to have a strong conversation with you, to bring clarity, to bring truth to a situation. Even then, Pisces, you can accept an apology and say thank you, but, also let the person prove it. I do think it is, if it is an apology, I do think it is honest and authentic and, really from this person's heart with the Page of Cups. But, and I think, it may be some missing piece of some story or some puzzle or something that happened a while ago where you're like, oh, now it all makes sense. You know what I mean? Wow, I picked up the deck and the Ace of Coins stayed down. All right, you definitely have a lot of beginnings coming in. Wow, oh my God, I say that and look, you get the Ace of Wands here. Wow, with the Hanged Man. You guys keep getting the Hanged Man. And I almost said enlightenment so many times with this, and I did talk about the noose and this karmic thing. Hindsight is 20/20. And when people have an opportunity to really, truly get distance from a situation or from a storyline or from a narrative, or especially possibly from a toxic person, and they have this opportunity to sort of look back and really see what happened back there, really, like, without someone influencing them and telling them, this is what happened, this is how you need to see it, this is, how we need to think about this or how we need to address this or whatever. When you are left to your own devices to, I talk about this sometimes, but you guys especially are a mutable water sign. So you take the shape of the vessel that you're put in, right? And so, sometimes, but if you leave a Pisces by themselves, they will have the highest level of understanding of the situation. They will see it from the most perspectives and have the most grounded, centered, and probably mature idea of what actually went down if you just let a Pisces come to it on their own. At least that's what I found with my Piscean friends. Like, whew, That's why I love a Pisces. I mean, it's one of the many reasons, but what I'm telling you here with this Hangman is this can be you, or this can be someone else who may have been defending, or, may have been sort of a part or played some kind of role in some kind of conflict with the Seven of Wands. They may have, been really defensive of their positioning and not really open to hearing the truth. They could be someone that has gotten a new perspective and is now ready to like sort of go after what they desire, after kind of not being super influenced by someone in their midst, or someone toxic, or someone that was stirring things up. For others of you, this can be where, you have had to really protect your space. You have been in a mode of being battered around by the ocean, with the Seven of Wands. It's like, don't tread on me. Don't try to force your ideas, your opinions, your positioning onto me. Like, let me come to my own place. Let me come to my own conclusions. Let me see it my own way. Just give me a freaking second. And you may have had to block out some of these influences, or some of these people who really try to tell you how it is, so that you could get your own perspective, so that you could be very, very clear about the things that you want to go after and pursue in your life with the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Cups. Like, what is it that's actually going to make you happy? What is it that's actually, in alignment with your authenticity and your heart space with this Page of Cups? So 2 aces already, and we saw the Ace of Pentacles. So Pisces, you really are on the precipice of a new beginning. I keep feeling this energy of don't get distracted by looking behind you. I cannot impress upon you enough how much I'm getting that. I'm getting just stay forward facing, close the door, lock it, drop the key. You don't need it. Go. You're on a different trajectory now. Wow. Oh my gosh. You know what I just got? I had a babysitter when I was a little kid who watched Days of Our Lives, and it used to say, these are the days of our lives, or like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. And all of a sudden I'm like really getting that feeling of how the tide turns, how almost like quickly it can actually turn, or how like energy shifts in a different direction. I'm actually seeing like a school of fish, and a school of fish will be swimming all in unison in one direction and will all in unison turn and move in another direction. Or like even like birds in flight. I don't know. Something's happening here, Pisces, where something's happening here. You have the Queen of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Some of you were in a third party situation, point blank and period. Or some of you, it's like, despite your best efforts to manifest, the things didn't seem to be happening for you, but seemed to be happening for other people. It's an interesting energy. But something was out of alignment, and sometimes what is out of alignment is just the timing, because we have the Wheel of Fortune being the thing that really changes the trajectory here, and that can be divine timing. If the stars are not aligned, if you're on your Saturn return and you're trying to manifest like big growth and expansion in your life, those two things typically are not, they don't work together, So sometimes it's just, this is the day and age or the time that we're in, and it's moving in this direction, or it's supporting these kinds of energies or this kind of energy. And you may be over here trying to to do it your way, and it may not be working out because your way is not the way that's supported at the time. It's not part of the lesson that we're learning or the experience that we're having. You know, I don't even really know how to describe it better than that, but there's just this energy of sort of feeling like, why aren't things happening for me? Why does it seem that things are working against me, but they're working for other people? Like if you're in the third party, you're the one that's waiting for the person to come back. You're not the one that they're with right now, kind of energy. It's an energy of just like, it is not, the wheel is not turning in my favor. You know, I'm over here manifesting. I know what I want. I'm not chasing it. I'm trying to make it happen for myself, and it's not happening for me, and I am witnessing it happen for other people. When the Wheel of Fortune, the Devil, and the Hierophant, this is why I'm telling you. There are certain times, you know, everything is in balance. Everything is a duality. All energy is on a spectrum of light and dark. And so when certain times are dark, you know, pandemics are dark, you know, and what is it that makes it be that way? I don't know. You know, we can look to astrology, we can look to the stars, we can look to, you know, this decision that was made 20, 30 years ago, and this decision that was made yesterday, and, you know, this thing that played a role in it, and this thing that played a role in it. But, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune, the easiest thing is to just say, you know, sometimes it's turning in your favor and sometimes it's not. You know, is sometimes it's with the Devil and the Hierophant, it could not be any more clear, right? That like, you know, sometimes there's darkness and sometimes there's lightness, you know. The Hierophant is the, you know, the spiritual gatekeeper, you know, to the ethers and to the divine, and the Devil is the gatekeeper to the nut, you know. So there's this energy of, with the Page of Coins, we have the opportunity to learn important lessons and to gain in any energy that we're in. And with this Page of Coins, Pisces, I feel as though you have gained, you have learned many lessons from this period that may have been a bit more dark. And now you are equipped in other ways to show up when the energy turns in your favor, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant. But we also, with the Devil, have to release ourselves from this way of thinking of, I am manifesting, but nothing's working out for me. Everything is working out for everyone else. I see everyone else celebrating. I'm not celebrating. Like, we have to shift with the time. We can't hold on to this mentality of this past moment where things were not working out and expect things to just be different because things are different. We have to adjust our way of thinking. We have to adjust our way of responding, and to know that we can let go of this pattern of you know, it's like when things turn dark, you know, at first we go, oh, I guess that wasn't for me. And we pick ourselves back up and we go for it again. And then it doesn't happen again. And we're like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. I guess that wasn't for me. It doesn't happen again. Man, this is really getting harder and harder to pick myself up. And then it comes to this place where it's like, man, I need to just lower my expectations or not have any at all, because things just don't seem to be working out for me. Like, the world just doesn't seem to be with me right now. And, you know, so we sort of develop this way where we're not even getting hopeful. We're not even saying, yeah, of course this is going to happen for me. Of course, you know. And so it's the longer we hold on to the energy of, yes, let me try to grow and expand in a period of time where I'm learning a lot of karmic lessons and life is very difficult and hard and there's not a lot of growth and expansion to be found naturally with the timing of things. You know, it's like trying to build a company in the middle of a recession, or trying to sell a house for a profit in the middle of a housing crisis, you know, like a bubble bursting, the housing bubble bursting. It's like, it's just not a good time for it, you know. And so the faster we let go of that idea of either making the profit or, upsizing at that time or something, I don't know, but it's the same thing. So when the things start working out for you, the faster you come to the place of, yeah, I expect things to work out for me. Yeah, things are really changing. I can see that. It's being evidenced here by, a lot of crimes coming to the light, or, whatever you need to evidence it in the world. I assure you it's there right now if you look for it. That now is a more positive time. Now we are working in the light. Now things that were done in the dark are coming to light, and it's coming out everywhere. And so, now I can see that this is a time that favors people who are trying to be pillars of consciousness in their own life, people who are living with integrity and who are, truth tellers and lovers. And, it's like, it's happening. There is a shift that is definitely happening, and there's evidence of it everywhere. And so, I don't know, but there is something here about lessons attached. There is something here about how we can gain in both environments. How, spiritual growth is not even reliant on suffering. Sometimes we think that, or sometimes we're even sort of programmed to believe that, but it isn't. We can experience spiritual growth in times of abundance just as easily. And Pisces, I just feel like this is a moment that is about where are you going, not where have you been, and what is available for you to dream, to reach, to reach for, to go for, to use your free will choices to support yourself and your own kind of growth and expansion here. And to really truly believe in yourself, and to believe in, the fact that I feel like you do with this King of Pentacles have some support. So either some of you have a new love coming in who is legitimate. Some of you have a true champion situation in a workplace. The tide is turning, and there is some kind of solid and stable energy that is supporting it. And there is also this energy of it is time for you to be recognized. All of those pentacles, all of those experiences, all of those things are adding up at this time. And there is some recognition of, wow, during the pandemic, Pisces achieved X, Y, and Z. During this, Pisces did this. Like, it's almost more impressive what you were able to achieve and accomplish when the chips were against you. And there's some recognition of it. Like, I know that wasn't easy for you. I know that wasn't, I know that made it more difficult or more challenging, or I know that it was probably difficult for you to hold on to your faith through that difficult hour, or whatever it is. But you did it. There's some sense of the finality of that experience that is giving way into this new experience where you're almost being recognized for that experience. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it makes sense, but and that's what I'm getting. I want to clarify this double, Pisces. And then, yeah, oh my God, look at this. Okay. For some of you, you have the Two of Cups in reverse, the Five of Wands, the Devil, and the Hangman, clarifying the Devil, with the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Pisces, your experience is shifting. This is where, even with the Two of Cups in reverse, it's like possibly relationships didn't really work out. There was a lot of external interference, or there was a lot of conflict, or there was a lot of drama around you. There were a lot of things that felt like they were really holding you back. I think with the Hangman energy, Pisces, the way you rode this storm was to sort of pull yourself up and out of the situation, and to kind of look back on it and see what kind of enlightenment you could get. Or you may have ridden out the storm, you may have just sort of been in a mode of survival, and then had this moment where you had the opportunity to just sort of reflect back on it and sort of see it for what it is, get a perspective on it, or change your perspective on it, and see a more enlightened point of view, which I feel is something that is raising your vibration. With the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck, this is you manhandling manifestation. And this is you with your hand on the wand, one hand on the wand, one hand on the sunflower, black cat at your feet. The wand, like I would say, is where we draw things down from the ethers into reality, into the material world. And the sunflower is a representative of happiness, of joy, of clarity, of healing, of health, of well-being. And with the black cat at your feet, this is you tapping into your psychic powers. With the death card underneath it, this is a real transformation. Look at this. You have the death that had the Four of Cups stuck to it. Underneath that, you have the Star card. This, wow, with the Six of Swords underneath it. These cards, the Four of Cups and the Six of Swords, have come out for you repeatedly. This is the ending of being disappointed. This is the ending of, kind of not getting what it is you want. Now you're in charge. Now you're making this crap happen for yourself. All right, let's dive in and just see what else you need to know for this week, whether it's advice, whether it's clarification. Man, Pisces, Lord have mercy. This is your moment. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, what the heck? Oh my gosh. Okay, Pisces. Yeah, you have the Wheel of Fortune coming out with on top of the Five of Wands. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the World card, and the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Pisces, literally, I feel like Spirit is trying to tell you, things that have been blocked off, things that have felt like they were off limits to you, things that have felt like there were obstacles involved in it. This tide is changing. Like, that is being released. With the World card here, you are closing out a major cycle. I feel like with this cycle, it's really important to clear your way of thinking again. Put the suffering in its place as a trophy on the wall. Dude, I saw this thing where this guy had come out of like abject poverty and made a lot of money. And he said, I felt so much shame growing up in abject poverty. And now that I am in this position where I have like succeeded, where I have made it, that abject poverty is no longer a source of shame, but a source of pride. And that is really, I am getting freaking goosebumps everywhere right now just saying this. When we are able to put our suffering up on a wall and say, yeah, I did that. Yeah, those were the circumstances that I dealt with. And here I am now, in a different position, in a different place. I overcame that. I had the strength to, and the perseverance and everything that it takes to overcome difficult situations. But what it really takes is a clearing of the mind, of a separation of you and the suffering, and the meditative energy of just new. Well, now that I am past that suffering, now that suffering is just a trophy on the wall, a reminder of where I came from, now where do I want to go? Now, what is my truth? Now, what is the story that I tell? Now it's up to me to write it. 10 of freaking Pentacles next to that, Pisces, with the Empress on the bottom of the deck. This is the beginning of, for a lot of you, I do feel like you have a very serious soulmate coming in. I feel like this is a big relationship where you have an opportunity to build day after day toward a greater legacy, or toward, something very solid and very stable here. With the Empress on the bottom of the deck, this is, do not ever forget, doubt, or miss that you are a limitless creator and that nothing is impossible for you, ever, ever, ever. You can tap into this energy. We just have to let go of our patterns of believing, our patterns of how we hold ourselves back. We just have to let go of that. That's all we have to do. And then we're free to just tap into the flow of the universe and be this limitless Empress energy. All right, Pisces, I'm going to get you some messages. Wow, I was like, I feel like this is a really long reading, and then I looked and it's like an hour and 4 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh. All right. If you are dealing with a water sign, you're getting, I can't do this. I don't know what you want. Different pages. You and this person don't share the same vision. I hide my feelings. The timing just wasn't right for us. I knew exactly what I was doing. If you are dealing with a fire sign, I daydream about a life with you. I hid who I really am from you. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. I want you so badly. True love. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. I want you, and finding out the truth crushed me. If you're dealing with an earth sign, we need to let each other go. I won't let you down. I see my life differently now. Will you ever make things right? I'm not available. Intuition, you already know the answers you seek. And I'm not financially stable. Man, Pisces, I just got like, these people are not worth your time. I don't know what that is. All right, if you are dealing with an air sign, decision, it's time to decide about this relationship. I don't know how to feel. New love, a new love, or recommitment to love is developing. Stability, this relationship can stand the test of time. Interference, an external party is intruding in this relationship, and I can't stop thinking about you. Pisces, take this message for how it resonates, and, you know, like as always. And gosh, guys, I just thank you for your continued support and for all your love. I believe I will be launching the membership tomorrow. So stay tuned for a community post about that. Anyway, you guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, I'm sending you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.